Well, happy fall, y'all. It is fall here in the Tennessee Valley. It's starting to cool off some of the days. A few of the leaves are starting to change and fall to the ground, and at this time of year makes me so happy and excited just to be alive and to spend time with my family. And I wanted to share a little bit of that fun and excitement with you. So I decided with my Etsy shop I'd be running a sale this week called the Happy Fall Y'all Sale. And it will include everything in my shop, including the items that I post for sale throughout the week. Right now, when this video uploads, there's one journal ready to ship. There's a few custom spots open as well as some digital kits. So if you click on my Etsy shop link below, it will take you there and all of the prices will reflect the sale prices. So I just wanted to share some of the beautiful things about fall with you, and I don't know where all of you live, so if in the comments below you could let me know, do you get the season fall where you're from? Do you enjoy the season, or what's your favorite thing about it? And sometimes it's just fun to share where we are and what we love about the seasons. For me, I love the crisp air. I'm not a summer person. I prefer to have cool air. I love the breezes. I love the smells. I love the leaves. It gives me such a feeling of preparing for new life. You know, in the spring we get the buds, the leaves, the gorgeousness of the flowers, and when we get into summer, it just, I don't know, it's so stagnant and hot, and I'm ready for that newness again. So we have to go through fall before we can get to that. And I know a lot of you actually really liked my kind of crazy junk journal philosophy video, so this is my little junk journal philosophy 2 cents here, but I think it really mirrors our lives, because sometimes in our lives, we go through those seasons where it just feels so stagnant and we're not really sure what the next step is. We're not really sure how we're going to get there, where we're going to be, and we just feel like we're stuck. But spring will come if we continue on and we have hope and we persevere. But sometimes we have to go through that fall and winter. So instead of viewing it as depressing, instead of viewing it as I don't know, as, oh no, what is wrong in my life? View it as, if I stay true, if I persevere, if I do what I know is the right thing to do, spring will come again. And that's just kind of the whole feel that I get. And I love that even in my junk journals. I know that sounds silly, but I don't know how many times I'm making a journal and I get frustrated with how it's coming out. I get frustrated with the way that I made the cover or the pages, and I feel like, oh no, this isn't going to come out right. And I have made a lot of journals, and I have learned that pretty much every time, almost without exception, I think there's 1 or 2 times I really had to start over. I challenge myself and I say, how can I make this work? And I stretch myself and I make something beautiful out of a mistake. And to me, that is what fall is. You could look at it as dead. You could look at it as the leaves falling to the ground, dying, death and of what's beautiful. Or you could look at it as something beautiful in itself, and it is the first notes of spring coming around the corner. So I just thought that I'd throw that out there. Also, I like to think of the book in the Bible, Isaiah, and it talks about how we are clay in God's hands, and he is likened to a potter, and a potter who makes clay. And if that clay gets broken, God will remake it into something better. So if our lives are broken, he can remake it into something better. And I think of that with my junk journals. When that page rips, when the cover doesn't turn out the way I want it to, when the idea in my head doesn't get on paper, I fashion it yet again a better journal. And I learn from it. And I think that we're like, junk journals in God's hands, not to be disrespectful of God or anything, but we might make mistakes in our life, and we might rip the pages of our lives, and we might overspray the ink on our lives, and we might totally wreck what we thought we should have done. But God is really the one who is putting, if we're going to trust him, he's really the one putting our lives together. And he is creating that into a beautiful piece of art for his glory. And so, I don't know, I just felt like I wanted to share that with you guys today. And, you know, you don't have to listen to it. You don't have to, you know, you can hit the X and I will stop talking. But it encourages me. The other thing I just want to say, I don't know, it's just, I'm thinking about it. But here in the Tennessee Valley, we have hills and we have mountains, and it is so beautiful. We live very close to the Cherokee National Forest, and you can go hiking up the hills and the mountains. And the psalmist says, I will lift my eyes unto the hills, because that's where my help comes from. And this year has been a rough year for me. And when I thought of that, I've always heard that verse, but when I thought of that verse in the psalmist saying, I'll lift my eyes into the hills, that's where my help comes from. And I never thought about it before. But in order to look up to a mountain means, well, we're not on that mountain right now. We might be in a valley. Like, I live in a valley. I live in the Tennessee Valley. But I can look up to the mountain. And in order for me to look up to the mountain, I have to take my eyes off of my crappy circumstances. And I have to take my eyes off of myself and my feet and what's around me and my problems. And I have to keep my chin up. I think that's kind of what the psalmist is saying. Keep your chin up. Your help is not in your problems and circumstances. Your help is higher than that. And so I hope that that encourages you a little bit this week. I know this isn't a tutorial about junk journals, but I was just inspired by crafts and creativity. I was inspired by the journal I'm sitting down and working on right now. And I just wanted to share the love, not only with the shop sale, but also just with a little bit of what's on my heart for my life, and hopefully for yours as well. So happy fall, y'all, and I love each and every one of you.